watching Keep Growing with IPED. It's on that note I want to welcome you to yet another program of Grow with IPED. It's Mashramani weekend, it's a long holiday weekend, and let me first, on behalf of our chairman, Dr. Yesu Prasad, our board of directors, management and staff, extend best wishes to all of you out there, all Guyanese, to all entrepreneurs, all you clients of IPED. A happy Mashramani to you out there. It's a pleasure being back in the program of Grow with IPED, and I must tell you that I have a very special guest on my program this week, and he is none other than Mr. Eric Phillips. And Mr. Eric Phillips is an executive member of ACDA, and those of you who are quite familiar with ACDA would know that ACDA stands for the African Cultural Development Association, and he spearheads the youth development arm of ACDA. Also, he lends support to the cultural aspects of ACDA as well. So stay tuned, we'll be right back after this short ad break.
Pursue a career in business and management or build your human resource capacity with diplomas and advanced diplomas from the Institute of Commercial Management based in the UK. Contact IPED's Entrepreneurial Development Centre. Our diploma and advanced diploma courses include business studies, project management, marketing, office management, human resource development, and international trade. Affordable evening classes, qualified tutors, a comfortable environment with free learning materials and study facilities. Choose IPED and ICM.
Welcome back, and as I said earlier on, I have in the studio today Mr. Eric Phillips, and Mr. Eric Phillips is with me because we'll be talking to you about Mashramani. Yes, it's the holiday weekend, and we at IPED, we thought it fitting to let you, the members of the public, know something very useful about Mashramani and what it means to you and all of us Guyanese. So it's on that note I want to say a hearty welcome to Mr. Phillips.
Thank you very much for having me on your program.
And Mr. Phillips, I want to thank you for accepting my offer at such a short notice. Good. Let us start the discussion by first talking about your organization. What is ACDA and what is ACDA doing?
Well, we're the African Cultural and Development Association. We're 20 years old this year. And we focus on two areas: culture and development.
Okay.
Of course, culture is so wide, and that's what we've been known for, but we're also very interested in economic development, and that's the development part of it. So, for example, just recently, we had a youth entrepreneurship program, and I must thank IPED and GYBT for being there. We had 80 young people from all the regions, and it was a terrific day. So we are looking at both social and economic issues. We stay out of the politics, even though life is about politics. Right. We have a school, a young school. We have about 50 students. We have a youth center. And right now we have an exhibition for African History Month, which falls in the same time as MASH. So we celebrate two events at the same time.
That's great. As we're talking about ACDA, I'm pretty sure many persons out there do not know where you're located, where your head office is located. Normally I tell people it's the blue building on Thomas Road, but I think it's different now, Mr. Phillips.
It's different. We have a third structure. It's yellow and green, bright yellow and green. That's the Aquaba Center. Aquaba means welcome. And that's where we have our youth activities. We have an exhibition going on right now. Of course, we have the school in the second building and a library and an ICT center. And the third building, again, development, we have a shade garden where we do cash crops, peppers, tomatoes to sell to subsidize the school.
That's great.
But we're on Thomas Road. Right
Road.
Next to Thomas Lands, right next to Queen's College.
Right, and it's green and yellow.
Yeah.
I passed there recently and I was looking for the blue building and there popped up in front of me that bright yellow and green building. Wonderful. And I love the sign that you have there.
It's about transformation. We're trying to bring more young people, so it's part of the rebranding. Our 20th anniversary, we want more young people, not only to be involved, but to run ACDA.
Right, quite true, to run the center. Well, let us talk about Republican status. And, Republican status, when we talk about Republican status, we're talking about Mashramani. Everybody just love Mashramani. I'm pretty sure. What does Republican status mean to us as Guyanese?
Well, we're a republic, and that means we're unique. We've gone beyond some of the constitutional limits. We got independence, but that wasn't enough. We're now a republic. So the CCJ, for example, is part of where we go instead of going back to London. But Republican status was about us wanting to create a new identity, wanting to evolve as a nation, and not to cling to the old vestiges of colonialism or of being under British colonial rule. So it's an exciting time. It's about transformation. It's about growing together. And I think people embrace it. It's not just about, festivals like in Brazil or Trinidad, Carnival. Yes, it's that. But last night, for example, there was a lecture at Humaniana, Professor Clem Sitaram. So it's about a lot of dimensions of who we are, of identity, of culture, of wanting to feel that we are one people with one nation and one destiny.
Right. So this weekend, on the 23rd of February, we'll be celebrating 44 years as a Republican country. That's great. And I want to salute all of you Guyanese out there. And let us go out in our numbers and celebrate our 44th Republic anniversary. And let us talk now about MASH. How did MASH came about? And why, MASH is so integrally associated with Republic?
Well, I think that was a unique event to show that we have moved on from just being independent. Of course, it came out under President Forbes Burnham. There was some politics about it because in early days, not everyone supported it. What I've noticed over the years is that it's now being fully embraced. So you see people of all races and cultures involved, Amerindian, Indian, African. I think a lot of that has to do with the gradual acceptance of it in the school system. So at MASH, we have massive competitions nationwide, and a lot of people from the country areas get to come to Georgetown for the finals. I mean, there are finals in the regions and here. And so you see it now as something embraced by all of us, and I think that's the way it should be and the way it's becoming more and more accepted.
It's a truly Guyanese culture. Some time back, I heard it all started in Linden.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are all sorts of claims, whether it's Lyndon, Forbes, Thompson, Burnham.
Right.
It's an indigenous word. I mean, it's Guyanese. It's our thing. It's not Carnival in Brazil or Carnival in Trinidad. We are mashing.
We're mashing. It's Mashramani. You're watching Grow with IPED, and here I'm having a discussion with Mr. Eric Phillips, an executive member of ACRA, and we're talking about MASH and Republican status of Guyana, because 23rd of February is a national holiday, and Monday is also a holiday, since it would have fall on Sunday. The 23rd is Sunday. We have 24th as a holiday as also. So you have a long weekend to mash up Guyana.
And recover.
And recover to go back to work on Tuesday. So what is the true significance, Mr. Phillips, of Mashramani?
I think it's about nationhood. We are many cultures, and we have to find some sort of crucible so that we have the same identity. We're many people, one culture, one destiny. So I think the significance of it, as is shown in the school, is that we're trying to say to each other, let us celebrate each other. Let's celebrate each other's culture. Let us know we're all Guyanese. And I think so the significance of it is not just the political and constitutional dimension of it, because, in CARICOM, there are not too many republics.
It's quite true.
And we're a corporate republic. So even the words give us ideas of what we should be doing. We should be cooperating, we should be working together, and we are seeking nationhood and our unique identity.
Since I was going to school, maybe I was not that too young then, and Mashramani came out. The teacher always told us that Mashramani means celebration after hard work. So I guess we've worked hard, and we need to celebrate.
True. We're working hard. We need to work harder, but it's February too, and it's just after Christmas. And so we've come back into the workforce January. We have new resolutions. I guess February allows us to embrace those resolutions, but it's about working, it's about harvesting, it's about looking forward to the future, it's about building.
Well, it has been 44 years now we have been celebrating. Do you think Mashramani has integrally become a part of our culture?
Yes, I mean, you start with the children, and they've fully embraced it. They look forward to it. And this year I see the political parties also have their own mash bands. The private sector has always embraced it, several ministries, but now the political party. So I think across the nation, we're all embracing it, and it's becoming part of us. It's people are coming home for mash. We had a Rupununi festival last week. So even in different parts of the country, there are other things that are going on. I was passing the library, and I see there's a poetry and drama workshop in front of Main Street. So there are so many different aspects, because culture is not just about cultural products, it's about identity, it's about who we are.
Who we are, quite true. And during the past week, traveling in the city, in and around Georgetown, I've seen quite a number of school children coming from the countrysides, maybe
Yeah.
on tours,
Yeah.
It makes me remember when I was small. Around this time, you come to Georgetown, and it's like a big activity for you,
I mean, it's an amazing month in that people are building around it. For example, the University of Ghana had their open day.
Well, they had their open day.
And you saw students from all over the country. I mean, I saw buses from places I didn't know they were real buses.
Quite true.
And so the month of February for us, it's the shortest month, but it's also the sweetest month. It's a month for us to do many things that platform us as a nation, that help to remind us that we are in this quest to be one people, but that our cultures are all rich and that we need to embrace them. Tomorrow, for example, I go to North Georgetown, and there all the students are asked to dress in the clothing of their ancestors. There's ethnic food, there's a cultural program, there's poetry, drumming, all types of drumming, speeches. So it's an event that raises the spirit. It's far away from exams that we can settle down back
Quite true.
and focus on that, but it helps us to become a nation.
It's quite amazing, if you go out on a MASH day, to see the, multitude of people and the multitude of colors and the music and
And the
the
food.
jollification and the food. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, I'm only now starting to enjoy it because I was gone for all those. This is my 8th MASH.
Right.
Not for the food. And every year it's grown, and I think it's becoming more and more accepted. There's more involvement in all aspects of society. The floats are just incredible.
Quite true.
And I don't know how some of those folks get that type of stamina.
I don't know. And those floats are very costly to
Yeah,
put together as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
We
We had our school, we have about 50 kids, and this was their first MASH. And it was amazing how excited they were. I waited until they were fully dressed. I was just shocked because we see our creativity, and all of the cultures in us bring out that extra dimension. So it's a wonderful time.
It's quite amazing. But do you get this sense, or do you feel that Mashramani as our own thing, our own cultural identity, is it really helping to foster us as a people, as a nation, to mold us and to integrate us together? Do you get that feeling?
I
Even
get
though we
the-
talk about it, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I do get
But
that
look
feeling.
back into the communities and the villages, wherever we interact and interrelate,
Yeah. Well, some villages have their own MASH,
Right.
and it's growing. I think the mere fact that we're starting from the schools and evolving it, that it's becoming more and more the thing, it's our thing.